Coy Jennings, Team Coyster here. So today we have Jacob coming in to do a posing tutorial. We are going to run through the quarter turns and then we'll go through the compulsory posing for bodybuilding. So let's get to it. Let's go through the quarter turn. So Jacob, if you can hit a front relaxed for me. Nice. So guys, what you can see here is that Jacob is shortening his lower half, so an anterior pelvic tilt in order to shorten those quads and contract the quads so you can get a nice presentation of that quads focus shot right there. He's going to think about elongating the rib cage at the top, so he wants to make sure that he's shortening the lower half and then making the torso as big as possible. Flaring those lats, making sure that these arms actually stay nice and relaxed without adding too much contraction to the pectoral muscles. Sometimes some people look better with contracted pecs, but I feel that Jacob has a big enough chest to keep that relaxed. So this is what we call a front relaxed shot right here. So Jacob's going to give us a quarter turn to the right. Nice. What Jacob is doing here is thinking about pressing his legs together so we get that nice separation of the quad and the hamstring, keeping that core nice and tight, making sure that his hand isn't too close to the glute. He's got a nice bit of separation there so we can actually see some nice glute. When he's got his posing trunks on, he'll see some more definition come through on his glutes there. Making sure he's going to push up this bicep up into this pec. See how now we have a lot of definition coming through this pec. Pushing this back arm down into the lat, so we've got this nice, tight, crisp lower lat definition there. Let's just move that hand back ever so slightly. Perfect. And then he's going to keep this midsection nice and tight. Perfect, Jacob. Absolutely spot on. Quarter turn to the right. Now, if you can see, Jacob has started with, and this is where we always start, from the floor. He's thinking about pushing his feet away from him, contracting the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes, and then working his way up to the back. Now this is pretty much exactly the same as the front relaxed. However, all Jacob is going to do is give us a little bit more thoracic extension. Nice. Making sure those lats are popping nice and hard, just like that. Perfect. Keep those glutes on. Nice. And you're just going to hold that. Perfect. That's what we call a perfect back relaxed. He's not relaxed at all. However, it looks like he's relaxed doing nothing. Now the goal is, on show day, you want to be doing about 70% of the work. When you're in your off season and leading into comp prep, you are going to be squeezing as hard as you physically can to condition yourself. Quarter turn to the right. Again, a nice half step, pivot to the right. Jacob's going to make sure that he's not going to hide that glute. Driving that bicep up into the pec, rotate that down. If you rotate your fist down a little bit more like you're rowing, you're going to make this bicep look a lot wider. So if the judges are looking side on, or if the judge is looking from the angles, you're going to look like you're a lot thicker up top and bringing it down into that V-taper. Squeezing those legs together, making sure we can see that separation from the hamstring to the quad. Just driving that hand back, because obviously you've got great glutes, we want to see that. Pushing that bicep down into that lat ever so slightly, not the fist, just the bicep. There we go. Now we've got a nice tight torso there. Nice. Hold that nice and tight there, my man. Cool. Just bring that hand back. Perfect. Nice. Don't forget to smile. Perfect. There we go. Nice. Quarter turn to your right. Pivot around again. Jacob will then start off with the floor, driving his feet into the floor, anterior pelvic tilt, shortening those quads, elongate that rib cage, so extend your chest, extend the chest a little bit more. So we don't want to be too compressed here. We want to make sure we look as big as possible while we're contracting as much muscle as possible in a relaxed manner. Perfect. And here we have front relaxed. So we've done 4 turns, quarter turn to the right, which will show you side on, quarter turn to the right, which will show you back, quarter turn to the right, which will show you the opposite side, and then quarter turn to the right, which brings us back to the front. Cool. And relax. Jacob is a bodybuilder posing for the ICN. So today we're definitely going to make sure that we're hitting these compulsory poses spot on. Okay, Jacob, front relax. So today we're just going to start off with the front relax before we go into the compulsory front double bicep. Now, sometimes the judges may call and relax in between a pose, but today, for today's sake, we are just going to go from one pose to another. I've been working with Jacob posing for a little while now, so he's nailing down these poses week by week. So he doesn't really need to work or worry how he's going to look in between transitions, so we'll just go straight with the shots. Okay, again, always making sure we start from the feet. So Jacob's pushing his feet into the ground, contracting the quads. He's going to shorten his pelvis with an anterior pelvic tilt, which is going to give more display to these quads. He's going to elongate the rib cage, so he's going to make sure that distance from the pelvis up to the rib cage is as big as possible, flaring his lats and making sure that he's not compressed too much. So nice and relaxed. Cool. Okay, Jacob, front double bicep and strike. Perfect. So Jacob's already in a position where he's got an anterior pelvic tilt, so his quads are popping, so he doesn't really need to do anything. All he needs to do is come up into that front double bicep, making sure he's rotating his elbows forward ever so slightly to give a lot more bicep peak, making sure he's pulling down on these lats, so we're going to pop a little bit harder. There we go, and make sure we're keeping that nice and tight and keep that rib cage elongated. Perfect. Absolutely perfect, Jacob. Nice. So now we're going to go into the front lat spread. So Jacob, front relaxed shot, front lat spread and strike. Absolutely perfect. Again, Jacob's in a position where he's got the quads switched on, anterior pelvic tilt. Now, all Jacob's gone to do here is a rowing position, activating his rectors from behind, and then flaring his lats. Keep that nice and tight. Nice. A little bit more elongation on the rib cage. Now you look a lot bigger. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And relax. Epic. Okay. Side chest of your choice and strike. So Jacob's going to pick a side of his choice, which he prefers to display. Jacob likes to show the right-hand side. So what Jacob's going to do here is thinking about driving this leg in his right side into his left. What that's going to do is give a more hamstring drop, which you can see is popping right here. He's going to line up his right foot to the center of the arch of his left foot. Thinking about accelerating his foot ever so slightly like you're on a skateboard, okay? Just to create a little bit of resistance there, okay? And from there, he's going to, if you don't mind, just hold that nice and tight. If you could just do a little mini reset for the upper body, cool. So now he's going to show his tricep. And as he drives into this side chest position, he's going to think about driving his left arm into his pec. Now look at the contraction on that pec. Perfect. Jacob's pushing down his right arm into his lat to make sure that bicep is popping super hard. While he's keeping that contracted, I want to make sure that that abdomen is super tight, so blow out super hard. Nice, there's them intercostals there. Serratus, blow out a little bit harder, Jacob. Arch that back ever so slightly. Yeah, I know it's super hard, bro. Hold that nice and tight. Absolutely perfect. And relax. You can stand, relax. Perfect. Nice. Cool. From there, we're going to go into a side tricep. So Jacob, side tricep and strike. Absolutely spot on. Same position as his side chest. Now we do have two types of positions for this, and we'll go into number 2 in a second. Now Jacob's already got his legs set up. He's pushing his right side into his left, creating that hamstring drop. Right foot's giving that acceleration like you're on a skateboard or you're scooting gum off the bottom of your shoe. Okay, keeping that nice and tight. Left hand's behind the back, creating some nice tricep contraction. Keeping that abdomen super tight, and we want to rotate the upper body round ever so slightly just so we can show off this left pec. It's going to make his upper body look a little bit wider, coming down into more of a V taper, okay. Now your second position, Jacob, if you just hold that top position right there, all you're going to do is take a step back with the left foot, with the left side, there we go, cool. This is the second option of a side tricep, absolutely perfect, Jacob. Just spike that heel ever so slightly. Keep that foot flat, that foot super flat, spike that heel, and there we go, nice. Absolutely perfect. Slight torso rotation. Now look, when he torso rotates, look at the V taper that comes in into the abdomen there. What we're looking at here is the side profile of the quad, hamstring drop, and making sure that abdomen and tricep is popping super hard. Cool, and relax, Jacob. Face the rear for me, my friend. Spot on. Okay. We'll always start with the back relaxed. Again, we start with the feet, pushing the feet into the ground, thinking about pushing the floor away from us. This is going to activate the hamstrings, the glutes, flaring the lats as wide as we can whilst keeping some form of a relaxed shot. Next, we will go into a back double bicep. So, back double bicep, please, Jacob. He will start with one foot with a spiked heel. Jacob's favorite side's the right. Spiking that heel and driving that foot into the ground is going to create a great contraction in the hamstring. Notice that he made sure that his glutes are super tight, and then we're going to go up into that back double bicep shot. Nice. Cool. Perfect. Hold that just there, just like that. So Jacob started with going into a Christmas tree position, showing off his rectors, a nice Christmas tree up in here, and then going into that back double bicep, slight thoracic extension. Now we need to remember, guys, is that judges are always going to be sitting down below us. Jacob's going to be on stage. We're going to have bright lights above us. So he wouldn't want to be up too straight. Otherwise, the judges are just going to be looking up like at a mountain. So we want to make sure we're creating some form of shadows within the musculature. That's absolutely perfect, Jacob. You can see how he's withholding an absolutely perfect form, posture, hamstring, glutes, back, upper back profile is nicely presented, and relax. Okay, go into your relaxed shot, my friend. Nice. Okay, rear lat spread and strike. For this shot, Jacob will opt for the same size side leg with a heel spike, contracting the hamstrings, working his way up, contracting the rectors, creating that lovely Christmas tree, and then flaring his lats as wide as he can, holding that nice and tight with a slight thoracic extension. Again, remembering the judges will be sat down here, so as they're looking up, they're going to see this mammoth wide profile back. Absolutely perfect, Jacob. And relax. Perfect. Face the front for me, my friend. Cool. Front relax. Perfect. Now we're going to hit the abdominals and thighs. So, abdominals and thighs, please, Jacob. Again, starting with the lower half. A little tip here, guys, as Jacob went to set up for his ab shot, he actually brought his right hand under his left as he brought his hands up above his head. Normally when we reset for a front double bicep, I like to opt for right over left, but as we come into the abdominals, we're gonna go right under left. It's a little bit easier way of getting these arms up to the top. Jacob's displaying his favorite, most muscular quads, making sure we hit this ab shot super, super hard without crunching down too low. We still want to maintain some sort of extended chest to create that illusion that Jacob is still up nice and tall. And relax. Perfect. And the final pose for this mandatory shot is the most muscular. Jacob's going to hit 3 most musculars for us. He's going to start with, which one, Jacob? A central hand position. Okay. Shot 2, please, Jacob. The most muscular. This is the most muscular. We call it the crab. As you open up, you're going to demonstrate as much muscle as you have, showing the quad. And then you're going to give us the third one, which will be hands on thighs. Perfect. This is a shot a lot of judges like to see, especially if you're going over internationals, you know, and especially world championships. I know with the ICN, they want to see a hand on thigh. Just elongate that rib cage ever so slightly, bring the core down, cool. Again, it's the most muscular shot. We're demonstrating as much muscle as possible in the lower half, hitting that core as hard as possible, and then really squeezing the pecs and the lats to get as much striations as possible. And relax, Jacob. Absolutely perfect. Right, guys, this is it. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. If there was anything you struggled with or anything in particular you would like to see, please drop a comment below. Today's tutorial was for ICN Bodybuilding. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you.